Welcome or welcome back to the channel. This is NX Joy, and today's reading we have today. Why do I always do that? I always say like today twice. Anyways, for today's reading we have the question, what does your subconscious want to resolve? Yeah, I don't know. I kind of just felt called to do this reading today. It wasn't really like something that was necessarily planned. Like, it was planned in the sense of I have questions planned out and things that I want to ask, but in terms of the current energies in the collective, it feels a little it feels very interesting because it feels like there's like a depth going on, and I just wanted to make sure that the girlies that get it and need some just guidance or just someone to like listen to or just confirm their intuition on, things to help them connect back to their subconscious, like any messages of that. I just wanted to bring that out because yeah, I love you all so much, and I thank you so much for watching and tuning in and just viewing, liking, commenting, even just viewing for the amount of time you do is so much, and it means so much to me. Just being able to connect to your energy like that is something I love to do. So thank you for being you and for tuning in. Anyways, thank you for allowing me to do this for you. I really appreciate you. So let's get that out of the way. Here is the pile selection today. This card is the crystal energy check-in, just to make sure that this is your reading and to confirm that this is your reading. Don't want to waste your time because it's valuable, it's precious, and yeah. Alright, so if you're here, this is pile 1, this is pile 2, this is pile 3, this is pile 4, and this is pile 5. As always, take any time that you need. You can pause the video here if you just need a second to just meditate on the cards. But yeah, if you already know which pile you want, I will see you at your selected. Hey Palins, if you've chosen this crystal, then this is your reading. This is the Shiva Lingam crystal, and what it is, Shiva Lingams, also known as Banalingas, are phallus-shaped stones found in the bed of the Narmada River in India. In Hinduism, they can represent an embodiment of the god Shiva, destroyer of illusion and transformer. Who needs it? Yoga people who hate yoga. Where to put it? Wherever you seek enlightenment. On a meditation cushion, concentrating on your breath, possibly chanting. When to use it? When your ego has you feeling too small or totally supersized. When it feels like you're sucking life force through a swizzle stick instead of a boba straw. When you've got baby making on your mind. Go all in on your essence. Okay. This feels like very like interesting pile. When I mean interesting, I mean it feels like this deals a lot with the ego and the self, as well as the sacral chakra and the root chakra of being. Yeah, because like I feel my heart racing. I feel like this very survival mode instinct, I feel like you might be in the public a lot, and it feels like it could be overwhelming sometimes. Yeah, no, I'm just seeing like a lot of subway cars and trains, subway cars, sorry, subway trains, and so I feel like you just deal with either moving a lot, moving in a fast-paced environment, or being out in public quite a bit, and it's a lot on yourself generally. Yeah. Maybe a lot of people gravitate towards you in public too. You might get asked for directions, or people just might want to talk to you in public more. So it feels like you're someone who likes to have their own space and likes to kind of have like a bubble around them for your security, because you might have been through something in the past. You might have had a past trauma related to the public or working for the public, and now it's kind of melded in over like to some parts of your identity, and that's why sometimes your ego might be involved. So like some people might view you as someone that's kind of closed off, whereas you see it as, oh, I'm protecting myself from potential danger. And so it's having to balance these perceptions and what you know true to yourself, and making sure that you stay true to yourself without having those perceptions of you get to you. Because at the end of the day, they're just something you're working through. Because it's not like I want to say that they don't matter. They do matter to some extent, because we do live in a society, right? And we do have to, at one point, mesh and meld with other people in order for the society to work. But I understand the need for self-protection and the need to feel safe within a community. I feel like the current society way makes a lot of people feel unsafe, especially if you don't prescribe to a lot of the old traditional ways of life. It kind of feels like there's this disconnect for people to feel like they can be themselves. Like there's this feeling of fear that surrounds the public sometimes, and being out in public means harm for sure, but it's something that we all have to do. And having steps to navigate it and being aware over it is very important in order to get through the day-to-day tasks. Okay, so that if that is your energy right now when it comes to the day-to-day, trust me, I'm right here with you. I'm right here with you. I've also had past traumas affect the way I interact with the public, so I resonate heavily with this pile. Know that you're not alone, and that it's not your fault. Like, it's not your fault you feel this way, that you feel this like anxiety going out. It's because there's so much things telling you that you should be wary and aware and like fearful, you know? It's a lot easier to feel safer in your own home, and even that sometimes is like, it depending on where you live, that's hard to feel. So yeah, just know that you're not alone, that you have community supports whenever you need to, whenever you want to reach out. If you are lucky to have government services and aid, if you are in a dire need or in a dire scenario, please seek that out and seek any ways of being able to protect yourself. safely. Okay. So when it comes to your subconscious energy, because we're diving deep into your subconscious today, I didn't really go through it in the intro, and I kind of just like dove into your energy check-in, but for today, how the reading is gonna go, we're doing your energy check-in, obviously, which we've done, and then we're gonna go into your subconscious energy, and then the main question of what does your subconscious want to resolve, and then we're gonna go through the area of focus this wound happens to be in, and the mantra that will help this wound heal. Yeah. Okay, so we did your energy check-in. Let's do the question of your subconscious energy. And you have unable to find a restroom. Searching unsuccessfully for a restroom or lavatory is a sign you're feeling frustrated or blocked in some way of life. Since using a restroom is a very personal thing to do, the dream is probably concerned with some deep aspect of your inner life. One possible message is that you need to let go of any anger, guilt, shame, jealousy, fear, hate, or sadness. Emotion appears to be holding you back. And others that you aren't paying enough attention to your life's true priorities, or you're neglecting your personal needs. You're probably placing other priorities above your own well-being and would be well advised to take care of yourself. Give yourself more space, calm, respect, and freedom. If you do find the restroom, this is a positive sign that you'll find a healthy way to let go, unless the room turns out to be unusable, in which case the warning still applies. Okay. So, in your subconscious, there's a feeling of feeling frustrated. I feel like you hold in your emotions a lot, and because you're in survival mode, and that makes a lot of sense, because when you're in survival mode, processing your emotions it's almost impossible, because you're too busy focused on the present, because you're in survival mode, because you're just like, oh, go, no time to really rest. And when rest comes, it's very few and far between, and being able to process those emotions takes quite a lot of energy and time out, and that's not what you really want to be doing when you're resting, right? So your subconscious feels a lot of frustration just because it's like a buildup, you know? Like, it's like a buildup of, let's say, there's a bunch of different ways we can do this. It's an accumulation of things that have gone to a point where it's invading your day-to-day life, and it's putting pressure on you to the point where you can't do the things that you don't want to do anymore, and you find yourself in this rut, continuously going day in, day out, doing the same things, but never accomplishing the goals that you want to accomplish, because you're too busy, too focused on being in survival mode, being sure that you can take care of yourself and be safe in the environment that you navigate in on a day-to-day basis. Alright. We're gonna go into the tarot when it comes to the subconscious energy. So connect me to the collective of pile ones, and let's go in depth into their subconscious energy just to check in with them and how to have this emotional release, how to like make space for this emotional release. Oh, okay. You have the Knight of Discs. It feels like financially might help quite a lot, being able to have like a steady like savings to rely upon, or like a steady income to rely upon. Spiritually, it could also be having a day-to-day routine practice to fall back on, like a 5-20 hour meditation sit, but something that you can go back to every single day that makes you excited, makes you feel joy, makes you feel like you're back home again. Like it could be like a regular yoga practice routine. It could be a regular gaming routine or a music practice regime, you know? Something that helps you fall back on a day-to-day basis, that gives you an outlet for these emotions. I also see journaling quite heavily, or posting. Writing in your phone's notes will also help you when it comes to just kind of like labeling your emotions. I'm also seeing like apps. I'm also seeing pillows being hit. Excuse me. You know, like focusing on your health could also help. And recognizing what the present is on a day-to-day basis and reminding yourself of gratitude. Those things will help kind of like have a way for an emotional release. Personally, I have a hard time emotionally releasing. I've thankfully fallen back into a yoga practice that helps, but it's taken me a while to get back into a routine that I personally enjoy. Like I used to force myself to do things like because I had a mindset of I don't have the means to do this, and then like I don't have the ability to do this. But then after reconfiguring my life, after kind of getting a stable income, I had the means to go to a place where I enjoy the teachers' yoga studio sessions, and it's a really big help for me to calm down my emotions. But you know, before this it was like 3 years of me just sleeping to calm down my emotions, and that wasn't helping me, but I thought it was helping me. So this might just be like a personal anecdote to help anyone feel a bit better about where they are at when it comes to emotional management. It does take a lot of time. With this Taurus energy here, we have slow and steady wins the race. We have stability, a foundation, but also like an enjoyment, you know, with like a contentment of like doing things like there's like with this rider here being happy to be able to balance the energies of fire and earth. It's being able to balance energies of passion and material, right? And to continue your material pursuits and the reasons why you continue to do what you do on a day-to-day basis, while you have that routine, while you take care of yourself, like the passion of your reason to live life. And you know, I'm not gonna lie, I lost that for a while, so I understand if it's something that you're going through and something that you're trying to revive and fall back into. But maybe go back into like old past things that you used to do and see if those can bring out elements of you that feel safer, that feel comfortable, that feel in a space where you can breathe. That's very important. Finding a space where you can breathe is probably the most important thing for you right now, especially on your spiritual journey when it comes to the existence of life and living on a day-to-day basis in this chaotic and ever increasingly entropic world. You know? Okay. I don't want to make this reading too long, so let's leave that there when it comes to your subconscious and the energy check-ins and like how your emotions can be released. So what does your subconscious want to resolve? You have 2 cards for this one. You have Caterpillar, which is opportunity. Apologies. Number 4. And then you also have Unmarked Trail, Revelation 57. So when it comes to, sorry, let's put this here because, yeah, that makes a lot more sense. When it comes to what does your subconscious want you to resolve, it's, again, being able to have those spaces for you to have the opportunities to kind of come into these revelations of emotions and being able to release it out. Sometimes when we have this space and when we have the opportunity, we uncover deep hidden emotions that we didn't even know was there. You know, like sometimes you'll just talk to someone and like you'll talk to maybe your therapist or your best friend or your family member, your loved one, and then they let you go and rant and word vomit, and you're like at the end of it, wow, I didn't even know that was in me. Like, you need to have something for you at that time. And when it comes to a lot of spiritual practitioners, I find that they don't want to be a burden on others and have those interactions, but it's very important. So if you can find someone to release, it has been proven to release the trauma is through communication and talking it out. But yeah, if you cannot find someone to do that, again, this is where writing is very important. This is where creativity, when it comes to self-expression, is very important. Being able to find a space to breathe is very important, because as long as you have a space that helps you reflect back on your emotions and why you're feeling this way, then it will really help you release a lot of this kind of hidden underground weeds of the past that kind of just want to come out of your heart space right now. You know, I feel like you're carrying things with you that you've been like, yeah, it's done, it's over, I've healed that. But subconsciously, there's still parts of it that really kind of like dig at you, that really want your attention at this time. And when it comes to your life right now, it might be really hard to do that. So what your subconscious really wants you to know is to, if you can, no pressure at all, if you can find the space and time to make for yourself, to breathe, to just focus on your breathing, to zone out and reflect back on your thoughts, then it would be very beneficial for you and healing and resolving this subconscious wound. Okay, so what area of focus is this wound? You have balance in reverse. Oh, actually, do you? Is it in reverse? I can say, okay, I'm hearing that I can take it either way, because the main message is being basically like having to return to the state of balance of both your head and your heart, like your lower and your upper chakras, because this is the throat chakra or the third eye chakra in this deck, because blue usually connotes both the throat and the third eye. Well, I guess indigo connects more with like the third eye, but like, you know, like the thing about colors is that the name of colors changes over time, which is really interesting. I don't want to get too far into that, but when it comes to what area of focus is this wound, it comes to the chakras of the throat and the third eye, and weirdly enough, the balance of the lower and the upper chakras. Yeah, because you're in so much of the lower chakras, because you're in survival mode, the area of focus for this moon wants to be put and balanced back on your third eye, on your throat, being able to communicate what you need and knowing what you need through reflection and self-reflection. Yeah, just peeling back the layers of these unresolved things that come up, and being able to come into a place of balance again and feel a bit more resolved and more like even. And what does that really mean? That means, like, when it comes to your emotions, we talked about being a spiritual practitioner and holding a lot of your emotions in, sometimes because you don't want the burden of having that out. So in a practical sense, this can look like that being balanced with moments of reflection, which we were talking about earlier. So this is just a confirmation card really to that. If you're not a spiritual practitioner, which I highly doubt if you're watching a tarot reading, but if you're not, the balance can come to being able to balance your emotions regardless. Every human has emotions, and emotional management is very important. So being able to have a way to really like identify them, understand them, sit with them, and release them will be important. That's why the third eye is very important too, because you have to identify it quite heavily, because it feels very dug into your subconscious. Alright. Last but not least, we have the question, what mantra will help these wounds heal? And you have encountering conflict. I don't choose sides, I take a stand. So when it comes to this mantra, looking at these emotions and seeing that they're, and not labeling them as good or bad, or being a good or bad person because we feel these emotions. Every human feels a range of emotions. So being able to face them and overcome them, and choosing to heal them. Choosing to sit with yourself, choosing to make time for yourself. Will help you, give you the space to breathe, and will help you find that spark of life back. It'll help you do your day-to-day routines in a lot more of a excited and energized way. All right. I'm gonna leave that there, pile ones. I hope you liked this reading. I hope this helped. I hope this resonated and brought forth some things that your conscious might want to know. If not, maybe this just kind of helps you fall asleep, and that's totally cool too. Or like was in the background of whatever you're doing when it comes to chores, because I do that a lot. I do that. So any viewership of any kind listening, thank you so much. Thanks so much for being here, for being you, and taking this opportunity to just dive into your subconscious and get to know yourself a bit more. Yeah. Okay. Until the next one, love you lots. Bye. Hi, my pal twos. If you've chosen this episode, then this is your reading. So today we're asking the question of, what does your subconscious want to resolve? And how this reading is going to go is that we're going to do an energy check-in with your crystal and make sure that you're at the right reading. And we're going to go into your subconscious energy and kind of look at like how that's doing, what it's about, like any other things that we need to know, just so it resonates and that you kind of feel an attachment to this reading, so that it like helps heal you, and so you can let it go later, obviously, but like just to like have the recognition that this is your pile. Yeah. And then we're gonna go into the main question of, what does your subconscious want to resolve? And then what area focuses this wound, and what mantra will help these wounds heal. I just saw 111 on the clock, so very new beginning energy with you, which is very exciting. Yeah. So you have the epidote, and what it is, epidote is prismatic earthy green aluminum silicate mineral. It's the get what you give stone, making good vibes even better. But be warned, if you bring epidote into your world, be ready to bring it. If you're set on wallowing out, keep epidote at a safe distance. Who needs it? Anyone putting in the work on their self, where to put it, stashed away with your existential to-do list. When to use it. When you're looking to kick a bad habit, a bad friend, or a bad mood. When you want to cast a spotlight on your weakness so you can work on them. Upgrade your version of you. So it feels like right now you're on a very self-love, self-authenticating journey where you're pouring into yourself to kind of reflect upon yourself and do better and become the version of you that you want to be, and bring to life and manifest a version of you that makes you feel the most confident, makes you feel the most yourself. And you're kind of out of the phase of wallowing. You're out of the phase of feeling sorry for yourself. This is the time where you want to get it. You want to work on yourself. You want to change. You're in the mindset of we're changing, you know? So if it sounds like you, and this is your pile. So let's get into your conscious energy. And you have insects, reptiles. Within the animal kingdom, reptiles and insects carry a strong symbolic charge with largely negative overtones. In dreams, they typically represent worries or threats in your waking life. A reptile can indicate emotional coldness or possibly a situation or relationship you would benefit from dealing with rationally rather than emotionally. A snake, traditionally symbolic of deviousness, can be a sign of the greater honesty that is required either from yourself or from someone you're involved with. Insects tend to represent irritating problems or distractions. A spider may symbolize a small issue that could become larger if attention isn't paid to it. However, spiders can also denote patience or the success attainable through skill and hard work. If any creature in a dream takes monstrous form with exaggerated size or features, this is probably about coming to terms with your shadow side, or aspects of yourself you find hard to accept. Yeah, so that's definitely how it feels when it comes to your subconscious energy. So you're very much well aware of your subconscious. You're very much on the same level of understanding your shadow side, and this is my pile that's gone through spiritual awakening, that's gone through the dark night of the soul and has gone past that. You might have even done it multiple times, and you're here now just to kind of make sure that you're just kind of doing the work right now. Being at this video doing tarot readings that involve reflecting upon your subconscious and diving deep is something that is recognizant of the fact that you can like better yourself, and that you can reflect upon these words, and that you can find a objective point of view to who you are and take a step back and see a bigger perspective. So for you, when it comes to your subconscious energy, you're very much aligned with it, and it's more than most. And I don't know if that's like something you wanted to hear, but I think there is a great attitude you have towards a lot of the macabre and deeper aspects to life of human emotion and human form. Like, you're not scared of it, you don't assign values to it, you're more of, okay, this is what it is, how can we move forward and overcome it, move past it, be better. That's how it feels. Yeah. So with that said, is there any specifics that the subconscious wants my pile twos to know? Because I wanted to use the tarot just to get a little deeper into the subconscious and anything that wants to come up. So anything that wants to come up for pile two subconscious, please come through now. Tapping into the collective. 3 of Cups. Oh, interesting. Celebration. Usually this connotes, like a celebration, a emotional, like, restoration. But it's interesting because when I pulled this out, I got very sexually explicit messages of having sexual experiences with multiple partners. So if you're thinking of that, or your subconscious might be thinking of that, it might be dealing with the wounds of having attention from parental figures or guidance from both aspects, multiple aspects of human experiences, and the connection to those aspects. There's like subconsciously there's a large sexual desire for multiple parties right now. Take this as it resonates. If it doesn't resonate, please skip. If you feel like it, no problem. But for those that this does resonate to, take this as a message of understanding and knowing that it is something that flows, and it is what it is, you know what I mean? Like, in terms of, don't judge yourself too much for having these thoughts and feeling these ways. It's a very natural form of understanding the self, especially through human body experiences. But it just kind of feels like a return to wholeness of all aspects of you, of kind of breaking the binary when it comes to understanding the self. And there's a subconscious part of yourself that wants to really incorporate multifaceted aspects and not have those labels and not feel judged for doing that. And to be more authentically you. Yeah, it comes back to that message. Okay, let's move on to the main question of, what does your subconscious want to resolve? So you have the card of Garden of Venus. Oh, oops. Oh, there you go. Garden of Venus, rest and renewal. So your subconscious wants to resolve this space of, this heart space especially, of feeling like it was okay to rest, and it was okay to take the time, and it is okay now to take the time to rest and understand yourself and to renew yourself and to go deeper into the different aspects of yourself and to really know you for you, and to come into peace with yourself. This feels like an inner peace with a lot of aspects of yourself and coming to terms with yourself. So this feels like when like the coming of age for young adults into adulthood and finally feeling like okay in their own body and their own skin, and feeling like you kind of love yourself unconditionally, radically, and it just feels very much like you're in a space of acceptance. And that's how your subconscious wants you to, wants you to know that it's okay to be in this state of acceptance. And you don't have to work so hard all the time, and that your subconscious is proud of you for doing the work and proud of yourself. You should be proud of yourself for taking the time to reflect and incorporate a lot of these aspects of yourself into this. And so just resolving the guilt that might come with where you're at right now, and knowing that you don't have to like charge your way and always be working towards a goal. Like, you can take a breather, you can take a step, you can just recognize that you've done a lot of work. And that you've incorporated it into yourself, and you've become a more whole person because of it. And it's okay to have like the tendencies or the thoughts that you do have. It's, again, just a part of life. Acting upon it is a different story, you know what I mean? Like, as long as you keep it safe, make sure that like you do it in a very respectful tone and manner, then I don't see what's wrong. Alright, so what area of focus is this wound? You have self-worth in reverse. That's what I find when we are coming into a sense of who we are and looking at the different aspects of ourselves. We can become really hard on some of the choices we made or some of the thoughts we think, or we can become really judgmental of different sides to ourselves that we haven't explored yet. And for that, this kind of is like when someone's homophobic because they haven't explored their sexuality yet kind of vibes, you know? Like, it feels like when it comes to the area of focus of this wound, it deals a lot with identity, and it deals a lot with who you are and where you're at, and taking the time for you to be where you're at, and like being okay with the deeper aspects of yourself and getting to know those parts of yourself without the judgment. But you already knew that. Like, because when we energetically checked in with you and you got this epidote, it's like you know this. And it feels like you might swing from days where you're doing really well and you're really on top of your shit, and then days where you just can't be bothered. And just know that that's normal, it's natural, and ebbs and flows. You're doing a great job, and this is just a spiritual checkup to just say, yeah, confirmation, you're doing a great job. So let's finish. Let's finish with what mantra will help these wounds heal. You have integrating the ego. Oh, this is the perfect card to get. And uncovering confidence. Wow. These are two perfect cards to get for this reading. You have everything is for me, not against me. And I am the missing piece that completes the puzzle of the universe. Yeah. So you're integrating a lot of aspects of yourself, and you're recognizing your worth in regards to your relationships, and in regards to like your own relationship with yourself too. It feels like you are in this state of transition where you've gone through the dark night of the soul, and you're ready, and you're willing, and you're able to really pour love into you and recognize that the swing of the days just comes with the transitions of time, and that you will come to a place of this self-worth and this self-confidence with time, So yeah, it really feels like you're getting out of that judgment of yourself, and you're just accepting yourself for who you are and feeling comfortable with your changing identity and who you are in regards to who you are right now. And yeah, your subconscious is very much on board with that. So with that said, a lot of good changes are coming your way. I saw 555 on the clock earlier. I just didn't mention it until now because I just wanted to wrap up the reading. But yeah, a lot of good changes are coming your way when it comes to being able to incorporate the deeper aspects of yourself and being able to recognize where it comes from and just bettering yourself. This reading is just a confirmation of good job. You're doing a great job, and those aspects of yourself that might make you feel a bit more uncomfortable and more judgmental, just being able to take your time and not feel guilty to rest and rebirth a new form of you that understands these deeper aspects of yourself. And it's okay to take this time for yourself because it is paying off for you, and it is really coming to a place of wholeness and of identity and of being you. They're like, there's no greater pleasure than being able to self-discover. Is there not? Right? Okay, so with that said, I'm going to leave this here. Thank you so much, my palaties, for tuning in, joining me on this channel. I love you so, so, so much for watching. Thank you, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye. Hey, my palaties. If you chose this honey calcite, then this is your reading. So today's reading, we go and ask the question, what does your subconscious want to resolve? Before we get into it and before we do your intuition, I just want to go over how this reading is going to go. So we're going to do our energy check-in. We're going to do the subconscious energy, and then what the main question of what your subconscious energy wants to resolve. We're going to look at what area of focus is this wound and what mantra will help this wound heal. So yeah, this crystal is going to tell us where you're at, and if this resonates, then this is your pile. If it doesn't, then, you know, pick another pile or watch another reading. Or if not, maybe this reading isn't just for you today, and that's okay. No problem. But yeah, so if you got this honey calcite, what it is a honey-hued mineral on a mission to turn the bewildered and bumbly into super-driven worker bees. Who needs it? Anyone with a job to do, the brilliant but lazy, any Taurus. Where to put it? Instead of banging your forehead repeatedly on your desk, try a gentle kiss of honey calcite there instead. When to use it? When the barriers to abundance feel too big to power through. When it's time to stop waiting your turn and stop waiting until tomorrow. Picture yourself triumphant on the other side of whatever stands in your way and call on honey calcite to kick in the door. Break through your limits. Yes. Okay, so in terms of what's going on with you right now, you are on a path to kind of change the way you go about life, from one where you accomplish the goals you set out. You are more motivated, you feel a lot more charged and energized to take your day. You know, you want to make sure that you live the life that you want and you live to the fullest. And so you want to kick out the habit that gets in the way now, don't you? Yeah. There's a part of you that knows that there's like a time of rest that you needed, but now you know it's a time to stand up and get it going, get moving. Let's go. So that's the energy you're in. So if that resonates, if that sounds like you right now, then this is your reading. Let's look into your subconscious energy. And you have feeling trapped. So subconsciously, you're feeling trapped. Feeling trapped, crushed, imprisoned, confined, or buried alive in a dream are variants of a theme that normally carries the same meaning. You feel someone or something is squeezing the vitality out of you or holding you back in waking life. Not even being able to scream suggests that your voice is not being heard. The dream may indicate that you've intuitively understood your situation, have looked at possible options, and have been unable to find a way out. In other words, part of being stuck is to do with this indecision. Confinement dreams also can be a way for your subconscious to tell you that some of your patterns or thoughts or actions are somehow impeding personal progress. This might, of course, be to do with a relationship. This kind of dream is often a potent wake-up call. You need to reevaluate and refresh. It's time to find new ways to move forward. So when it comes to your subconscious, even though you are energized and you're ready to go and you're ready to get out of this rut and do your thing, there's a part of you that still feels like you're held back in one way or another. You feel subconsciously on a level like you can't do the thing that you want to do, and it's frustrating, and it feels like you can't connect and be vulnerable with yourself at times. And you just kind of have to push forward into this culture of hustling and this culture of being better and being okay. And like it feels like you're smart enough to understand and recognize the societal influences that are upon you and to change that, but there's still that feeling of feeling trapped within that influence of go. Let's get a move on. And part of you wants to be in the energy and really wants to like continue and do your best and strive, but part of you also feels trapped and limited to where you're at. So what area of life is my pile 3s feeling trapped in? You have the High Priestess in reverse. So when it comes to your spiritual intuitive natures, it feels like there's a block or like a something that is holding you back. So it could be that the way you're looking at the world right now might be too spiritual as well. Like there might be a holding back when it comes to some manifestation, like rituals or something, where it kind of holds you back and limits your way of thinking. So subconsciously that might be a thing. Yeah. Like for example, say you want something and you really want something. You know, like what's holding you back is the lack mentality of not having that thing, right? And sometimes it's hard to shift your focus into getting that thing because there might be other circumstances like time constraints or money, financial resource constraints, you know, like, and there are a lot of different aspects coming up when it comes to you feeling trapped. There's a part of you that wants to do better in something. Okay, what is this something? What does my pile 3 want to do better in? Page of Discs. You want to grow yourself, have firm foundations. Do you see how this person has like their feet legitimately firmly planted into the ground like a tree, like a legitimate tree, and this person has flowers growing out of their hair? So there's a part of you that really wants to grow and stabilize and have roots and foundations, most likely in a home where it's just kind of like you have the opportunity to go after what you want and your dreams because you have a good home space, and you're trying to break through the limits of your past self. But a part of you is subconsciously feeling trapped because it feels like being vulnerable within yourself is sometimes scary, and sometimes you want a firm foundation because you want to know that you can fall back on something. I feel like there might be mother wounds that need healing because I'm drawn to these flowers that look a lot like female genitalia. So it could be the balancing of your divine feminine within that really needs your attention at this time. Your subconscious energy might have felt kind of abandoned, and there might be a wound around wanting to settle as well. There's a lot of different energies coming in for this subconscious, for this pile. Because it feels like you want to remain on the conscious. You want to remain on the attitude of, let's get it, let's go, let's get this done. Because you felt like this trapped subconscious for so long. Yeah. So what does your subconscious want to resolve? You have gathering around the power of community, as well as falling angel, spiritual narcolepsy. Wow. That's fitting. So when it comes to resolutions of your subconscious, having that firm foundation within your community is something that wants to come out. This is very synchronistic to have these two cards come out, because it weaves the story of you feeling as if you might have had a home life that might have been a little bit more chaotic, and now you're coming to a more healthy state of living around either these current people that you used to have a chaotic relationship with, or these new people taking the lessons from your past chaotic relationships and making sure it is beneficial for you now. Yeah, you might work with fairies as well. You might garden. That's just coming around. But yeah, there's just a really big sense of home life, sometimes making you feel grounded, feel secure, but also sometimes feeling like you're trapped. There's a part of you that might feel like you want to escape and go somewhere else within your daydreams, but I don't know, it feels kind of blocked and heavy. So let's move on, and then maybe we will come back to this. What area of focus is this wound? Ooh, you have quest. And we're gonna do what mantra will help these wounds heal. You have illuminating the truth. I am willing to see things clearly no matter the outcome. Okay. Now that I have everything here, it's a better picture of what's going on with your subconscious. When we first tuned into you with your energy check-in and your crystal, you felt like you wanted to get it done. You wanted to go, and it was let's do this, let's get it done. It's a very energetic, very vibrant feeling. But subconsciously, there is something about you that wants to turn inwards and go into a meditative state of understanding why you might feel trapped with stable relationships. That's what your subconscious wants to resolve. Yeah, sometimes it's just nicer to have the full spread here. I get a more clearer view of what the message wants to come out. So that's the main message for you, my pile number 3, is that your subconscious wants to know, why do you feel vulnerable in stable relationships? Because it's really interfering with your intuition, because now that you have stable relationships, you're doubting a lot of either yourself or the person you're with. And there's a truth to what's going on in your life that they want you to see clearly, that you're not trapped. This feeling of trapped wants to come out. You're not trapped. You have the choice. There's a choice. There's the quest to go inward and really feel and understand why stability doesn't feel freeing. Because the people you are with now are people that will help you in the future. They might be helping you right now. You might not be able to see it because of this subconscious feeling of feeling trapped. And yeah, there's like protection around you, and there's safety around you, and there's just a want to resolve being vulnerable with your foundational group of people, with your community, with the people that you call home. There is a feeling of wanting to feel safe with that, and there's a change happening with you now that there's this awareness of it. Now that there's this awareness of foundational vulnerability and being scared to move forward. So have those talks with the relationships that are near and dear to you. Take some time to yourself to meditate and understand why you might be feeling blocked, especially when it comes to your intuition and your decision making. Take time to reflect and get into practices that get you to be vulnerable with yourself so that you can sustain this great foundation that you have with the community you have around you, and to continue to do the things that you want to do and be supported by people that love and care for you like you love and care for them. It is your time to finally come into a sense of inner peace and a sense of growing yourself, and you have the opportunity to do it with this group of people. Take it. Alright, those are the spiritual messages I have for you today when it comes to your subconscious. I want to thank your subconscious for coming out and guiding this reading. Sometimes it might have felt a little bit like it was blocked. This one was a little bit more like interesting to go around, but we got here, and that is what's important. So yeah, okay, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being a beautiful soul. I love you lots, and until the next one, bye. Hey my pal fours, I hope you're doing well. If you've chosen this rose quartz, then this is your reading today. So this reading, we're dealing with the subconscious, and we're asking the question of what does your subconscious want to resolve. But even more than that, I'm going to go through a breakdown of this reading. So first we have the energy check-in, just to check in with your intuition and make sure that this is the correct pile. And if this sounds like you move on to the rest of the reading, where we get a subconscious energy and any more in-depth things that we need to know about your subconscious, and then we go through the main question of what does your subconscious want to resolve, and then we're going to go to what area of focus is this wound and what mantra will help these wounds heal. So with rose quartz, what it is, rose quartz is love in rock form. So who needs it? The overly self-critical, sentient, spiritual beings who love deeply, those in the healing arts, or those who want to be, where to put it, in spaces you want to zone safe and sacred, held with both hands to your heart with the utmost loving kindness. When to use it? When you feel like you have to be the one to have it all figured out, to work the hardest, to hold it all together for everyone else. Rose quartz give us a pink cashmere covered platform to be soft, sweet, and open to spirit. Take care of your heart. So if you're going through the emotions of life, you're in need of some self-love, self-care, because you're really overextending yourself to other people right now, then this is your reading. Yeah. I find that a lot of my spiritual beings have a rose quartz or are given a rose quartz from time to time because of the energetic work that they do, and they do it for free, and they do it without anything or any like any expectation of reciprocation. They just do it because they are who they are. Like you my dear are someone who just gives and loves and is this beautiful radiant energy of vitality, of life, of the love of life, of enjoyment of life. You light up people's worlds, and yeah, this is what really wants to come through for you right now. Like if you're going through a time where you're in need of this self-love and self-care, there's this really big boost from your spiritual team and your subconscious that is like, we want you to know how fabulous you are, how amazing you are, how much you matter in this world, not only to your spiritual team, but to yourself and to the others around you in the physical world. You do the work that not a lot of people can, and you have the patience of a deity. You are spiritual because you recognize and understand the nature of experience, and that it's a lot easier to work in harmony with those around you than to live in chaos, and chaos is great. Chaos is great for innovation. Chaos is great for understanding the intricacies of the world, but it's nice to have harmony to fall back on and to recognize your value and your worth, and that's something that wants to really come through, is that you're really a pillar for people, a lighthouse for people, and there's a sense of wanting to relieve yourself and have time to yourself and to just enjoy your own energy. Yeah, you might be like a 420 smoker. If you are, what's up? Hey, come do a smoke sesh with me one time. Just kidding. But yeah, that might be one of the ways in which you feel protected and safe and with your own energy when you do like sessions like that, spiritual sessions of clearing yourself with smoke, or actually smoking, or just doing rituals to like clear energy of others and to be with yourself again, because you naturally heal yourself like how you naturally heal others. Okay, so let's go into your subconscious energy. This is the card you got. It's really pretty. You have being lost, losing something. Dreams about being lost or trying and failing to find something or someone are obviously anxiety related. In waking life, you may be feeling confused or directionless, or that you don't fit in or aren't up to the task or situation. The dream should prompt you to take an honest look at your life to identify what's causing such feelings. If you lose someone you know in a dream, perhaps he or she represented aspects of yourself you feel you're losing touch with. Losing keys or a phone may symbolize a sense of exclusion. If the lost item is precious or indispensable, it could stand in for a broken or interrupted relationship. Perhaps you need to give yourself time to grieve, let go, and heal before you can move forward. Dreams of abandonment tend to have similar meanings, since loss is often perceived as abandonment at a deep psychological level. So your psychological, deep subconscious energy is being lost, losing something, abandonment, this abandonment wounds. And it feels like it could be the abandonment of self as well. You might have let go of an old version of yourself and have come into a place of really giving yourself to others, and there's a want subconsciously for you to come back to you to come back to you, come back to your heart space, to what you love, things you love, to enjoy yourself, to have space for yourself, to really get to be with yourself. Sometimes I feel like some of my spiritual beings may be people pleasers so that they don't feel excluded with things or with like social events and stuff. Okay, well, let's go deeper into the subconscious energy of my pile number 4s. The pile 4 is subconscious energy. You have 8 of discs, as well as the 9 of discs in reverse, and then you have the devil. I'm hearing like Bad Blood by Taylor Swift. I don't know if it's called Bad Blood, but it's like you know we got problems, you know we got bad blood. Like I'm hearing that song right now. So someone wants to come through. Ooh, it might be a person that you feel lost. I thought it was you. But here's something else, like here's another person coming in as well. So take that as it resonates. But when it comes to your subconscious energy is really working hard to understand the self and reap the rewards of inward spiritual depth. And your subconscious really wants to understand the different aspects of human being, the emotional depths, and the reasons why we need resources for human experience. You know, there's a feeling that your subconscious wants to take things slow and not rush, because if you rush, then you come to a place of feeling trapped and feeling like you've lost yourself, you know? And like you've worked really hard to come to a place of working on yourself and being with yourself, but there's like you tend to lose yourself if someone else comes along. Someone who has this double energy that feels really controlling, that feels like they might be pushing your buttons, but it's because there's a want to slow down. Yeah, there's a want to really slow down with all of this. Okay, so what does your subconscious want to resolve? You have lost in space, needing direction. Oh my god. That's funny. Being lost in space, needing direction. I like the synchronicity of this reading. But yeah, because there's a sense of you feeling like abandoned by yourself and with others. Now you just kind of feel like you don't really know where to go, what to do, who to talk to. And I just saw 1122, so it's a new beginning for you to understand your relationship with yourself and with others and how to balance that out. How to balance that out. Your subconscious wants to resolve the need to have space for yourself and for others. And once you have that space for yourself, you can really bring in these great gifts of yours that you've been working really hard on a subconscious level when it comes to feeling like you have control over your life, that you are behind the wheel of your life. So having that space is super important for you. And your subconscious just really wants you to know. So what area of focus is this wound? You have passion. Okay, I'm gonna also do what mantra will help these wounds heal. Because yeah, you have 2 cards, and I feel like there are 2 groups, and I'm reading interchangeably for both of them, but I want to get a clear picture of both of them before I move on. So you have unhooking the past as well as celebrating simplicity. So for those who feel like they have a sense of abandonment with themselves, when it comes to where your wound is and the area of focus your wound wants to be on is the passions and what really lights you up in life, what really gives you your aura back, what really makes you feel fulfilled and happy and what part of a community again. What makes you feel like you're in and serving your purpose. That's the area of focus that wants to really come out. If you feel like you've abandoned yourself, really go into your passions again. Really go into the things that make you feel like you, activities that make you feel at home in your body again. Celebrating the simplicity of it doesn't have to be like a really complicated healing process. It's just going back to the basics. It's going back to what you used to love, going back to things that really used to bring you joy, bring you excitement, bring you inner peace and calmness. Those things will help you now again. And yeah, so celebrating simplicity will be the mantra that really helps you. You know, I am more fulfilled when there's less to manage and maintain. And it's true. When you kind of get into the routine of yourself again and going back to the things that really like grounded you, you will feel your subconscious shift into a state where you feel more in control and feel more at peace because you feel like there's a direction. And if you don't feel like there's a direction, at least you have a fallback to bring you to a reflective state so that you can meditate on a direction to where you need to go. Okay, perfect. And for those of you whose energy I was picking up on, who had a significant person in the past that felt like they were abandoned by, when it comes to the area of focus in the wound, you have to focus on your sacral chakra. You have to focus on your own passions. When it comes to this person, unhooking the past, there's nothing to regret when I learned from my past, and learning the things that the lessons from this person will help you heal these wounds of passion. So let's say you were abandoned by a partner. Let's say you were in a situationship, which, you know, very relatable. A lot of people have been in situationships. So let's say you were in a situationship and you weren't sure where you both stood, and you both were doing the work but weren't really seeing the progress, and then there's like this very lustful energy between you two that kept it going, but like not like it wasn't ever official, and there was a lot of passion, there was a lot of, you know, feelings that were there, but there was no like direction, there was no like real concrete relationship status. So then one day the person like ghosts you from the situationship, and learning that those types of relationships aren't things that you want. Having completely lustful feelings and that's it with no substance isn't exactly what you want might be the lesson for that. Or being more communicative by setting boundaries and recognizing where the relationship's at to feel more secure in yourself, to feel safer, to know where you're at with this person can really help you understand where you want to go in your next relationships. And maybe having a secure sense of self when it comes to your own practices, when it comes to your own directions of falling back to a set of routines, a set of activities that are just yours aside from this person, will help you navigate a situationship where you're comfortable with it just being a situationship and there's no hard feelings. You know? Learning the lessons that way for the relationship group will help heal the subconscious wounds of abandonment, of being lost, of needing direction, and again, of coming back home to the self. There's a real emphasis on taking care of yourself and, learning from past and coming back to who you are now and what you used to love before, to give you that sense of spark and to give you that sense of home and stability so that you can continue to thrive and be your beautiful, beautiful self and shine your light like a lighthouse for others. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it there. I really hope you enjoyed the reading. I hope this really helped when it comes to understanding your subconscious and resonating with your subconscious. I know in the collective there's a lot of transitions when it comes to relationship statuses right now, so if that part hit or resonated, just know that my heart's with you and I hope everything with you heals well as those who are working with the abandonment of self. Going into the North Node of Libra, we're all experiencing a very heightened sense of coming into who we are again and coming into who we want to become and executing ways in which we want to live, and how we want to live and the activities that we want to do to best take care of ourselves. And to always keep this newness of life, because Aries, the baby, the beautiful baby, keeps this newness of life, right? That energy of life itself, of new beginnings. Okay, so I hope this helped. I love you lots. I'm sending you so much loving energy, and I'm wishing you the best. Take care. Hey Pal Vibes, if you've chosen this school site, then this is your reading. So today's reading, we're looking at the subconscious and we're diving deep into what the subconscious wants to resolve. So we're doing a breakdown of this reading right now. This is your energy check-in crystal, just to make sure that this is your pile and this is correct intuitive messages that come through and that you're connected with the collective of Pile 5. And then we're going to go into subconscious energies. I have oracle cards and some tarot cards that we're going to pull out for that, and then we're going to do the main question of what does your subconscious want to resolve, and then we're going to go into what area of focus is this wound and what mantra will help these wounds heal. So right now we're going to do the energy check-in, and you have Skullsite, what it is. So Skullsite is a super vibey icy white stone that forms in needle-like bursts. Who needs it? Up all night worrying about the coming singularity types, brave explorers of beautiful dreamscapes. Where to put it? Under your pillow before bed, wherever you want to establish an impenetrable chill zone. When to use it? When it's time to take your sleep hygiene to the next level. Put down the phone, pick up a book, a paper one, sip a chamomile tea, slather on a lavender oil, and wait for some rapid eye movement. And those dreamy messages marked important by your subconscious. Dive into your dreams. I love it. I love it. So I was like debating whether to do 4 or 5, and 5 came up, and obviously this is why, because this is necessary. But when it comes to your energy check-in, you're someone who is diving into your subconscious. You are kind of diving into your dream state right now, and you are someone who's just really wanting to get very Piscean, very 12th house energy. You are someone who's very dreamy, very dreamy, very, very dreamy. Yeah, so if that sounds like you, if you nap a lot, if you love sleep, if you love dreams, you're into the dream worlds, you love subconscious stuff, then this is your pile. This is probably why you also clicked on this video. But this is like those spiritual people that really like to go into the deeper aspects of themselves. Yeah. Okay. So I feel like you're very connected to your subconscious and with your subconscious. So the next parts of this reading will resonate pretty like well as well. So let's move on into your subconscious energy. And you have buildings. Buildings tend to represent your sense of self. Pay attention to what kind of building it is. If it's your home or a house, this suggests that your personal life is your paramount concern at the moment. If it's an office or factory, professional life may be your preoccupation. If you're inside or on the ground floor, upstairs, or in the basement, generally the main floor represents the present moment, the lower floors are the shadow self, and the upper floors are your higher self. Being outside the building may convey a feeling of being detached. Any doors in your dreams could suggest opportunities, while windows could represent openness to new ideas. Any stairs may be a comment on how you feel about your social status, or else they could refer to a period of transition. The ceiling represents what you may feel is limiting your progress. So when it comes to your subconscious energy, you're just really identifying your subconscious energy quite heavily, and this is gonna resonate differently for different people because everyone has a different subconscious, right? So when it comes to yourself and your subconscious, I want you to imagine a building or a house, something of like a place to live in, a place to be in, a place to like exist in, you know, just buildings. So what does that building look like to you? Is it a tall building? Is it an apartment? Is it your home? Is it an office? Is it somewhere you've never been to? Is it somewhere that you have been to? Take these into account and how that relates to your life, because this building really represents what your biggest concern in life is right now. But anyways, I wanted to go deeper into the reading, so let's use the tarot. And when it comes to the subconscious energy, let's go deeper into subconscious energy for my pile 5s. What does my pile 5 subconscious energy want to know? You have the Hierophant. So you're very tapped in. You're very like, you're very balanced. You have the knowledge and the skill right now to really be with yourself. It is assured victory. You have the 6 of Wands. It's assured victory for you right now when it comes to your subconscious energy, of getting to know your subconscious energy. If you do things like past life sessions, if you do things like hypnosis, if you do REM journaling, like the rapid eye movement, like, you know, like dream journaling, if you do lucid dreaming, if you do astral projections, these are really heightened at this time of your life, like really heightened. Yeah, anything else that the subconscious energy wants to bring about, like even if you've been trying to lucid dream, this is your sign that's gonna happen soon. You have the 6 of Swords. Yeah, because you're getting rid of worries and you're getting rid of like a lot of mental blockages. You're moving forward and you're going inward. You have the Page of Discs, and you're rooting yourself. You're rooting yourself to who you are, to be grounded, so you have a practice. Excuse me. And Five of Discs. You have a practice that is sacred, and that can ground you and make you feel safe while doing something as spiritual, as astral as what you do. And this is going to be different for everyone. It's going to be either you astral travel, you lucid dream, you do hypnosis, you do past life regressions. Like, it's going to be different. But this is like my ultra spiritual pile. This is like, yeah. But it feels like you're really unlocking a lot of your subconscious, a lot of who you are and why you're here, and you're really grounding yourself in your practices because you've done the mental work. Okay, so what does your subconscious want to resolve? You have the Sky Dancers. You have surrender. So again, yeah, this is just a confirmation, the synchronicity of putting down the mental aspects of it all the time and the rationalities of it all the time, and just letting it be and come out the way it is. Especially with your dreams, like not over analyzing when it happens in your dreams, but kind of taking note and remembering it so in your conscious life that you can analyze it there. Like, your subconscious wants to surrender. It doesn't want to have like a lot of work to be done. Your conscious life is the one that wants to be doing the work when it comes to analyzing the patterns within whatever practices you're doing. Again, if you're dream journaling, practices of the symbolisms in your dream. If we're doing past life regression, same thing. What are the symbolisms in that past life, and how does that apply to your current situation and what's going on with your life? If you're doing astral traveling, surrendering and taking an understanding of where you're going and why you're going there, you know, like just kind of like there's things that are going to be highlighted to you and exposed during this time prominently, very, very prominently. That's going to be important for you to know about your life and the situation you're dealing with right now. And that's super vague, but like it feels like it's just like you understanding your subconscious self more. So it's like you're going to be able to do that. You're going to know yourself on a deeper level. Like, you're going to understand your past life and why the relationships in your life today played out the way it did. You're going to understand why you cheated, or your boyfriend or girlfriend cheated, or why you have an abandonment wound, or why you couldn't be with this person, why, like, you know, why you act a certain way, why you like certain things, why you dive into practices the way you do. Like, you're going to be able to connect to that reason again and to that sense of self again, and you're just kind of uncovering and creating these new lines of pathways to open yourself up to yourself again. So you're opening yourself up to yourself again and uncovering the mystery and the beauty that is you. Okay, so what area of focus is this wound? You have insecurity. So it really deals with just your sense of self, feeling secure in yourself, of who you are, and the heart space especially. It feels like a part of you might feel like disconnected from your heart space because of a lot of lust that might be coming up, and it's hard for you to decipher which one is which and what's going on. And there's a distrust and a closed offness that comes with that. So your wound really deals with when you go into the subconscious part, with this insecurity of yours, of being closed off to your heart space, of to love, of to others, because there's like this coldness to lust. Like, you don't want to feel too lustful about a situation because it feels like there's a disconnect, and you don't want to like have to not be in control. Alright, so what mantras will help these wounds heal? You have exploring unity consciousness, as well as unraveling codependency. Interesting. So at the back of these cards, I should have done that first. At the back of these cards, you have I am one eternal light appearing as all, as well as only I have to feel good about my choices. So when it comes to healing these wounds, and what your subconscious wants to resolve, is the fact that there is a greater unity consciousness out there, and that it's a fine balance between continuing to be you and exploring yourself without having to attach yourself too much to others and their opinions on what you're doing. So there might be an insecurity when it comes to love, because it feels like you don't want to be trapped in lust again. It might feel like you have a trauma related to a past person when it comes to love, and it's hard for you to really open up to that radical feeling of love because there's this distrust of it. So you much rather just be in your own energy. You much rather just put your foundations into uncovering and exploring your own subconscious and who you are, because you don't want to feel like thinking about this person. You just kind of want to get over this person, or not have to deal with relationships in general. Like, you're done with it because of a past negative experience. And with that, your subconscious wants you to know that there's a need to surrender to yourself, to others around you as well, and open yourself up to that vulnerability. Not all people will be like that past person, and recognizing that it was a lesson for you to learn. But yeah, you're gonna do great things, and this is a spiritually heightened, potent time for you to explore your subconscious. So you don't really need me here to tell you anything, other than the confirmation of, yes, go out and do your thing, go out and be your spiritual badass self, continue to heal what you need to heal, and listen and reflect in the ways that you are. This is just a confirmation message for you, my dear, that you're doing great, and that you have the opportunity to explore and surrender, and the things that come up with you right now might hit a chord and you might be closed off to it, but it is an opportunity for you to really explore how far and how willing you are to go to be with yourself and set those foundations for yourself and within. Yeah. Okay. So I really hope this helped. I hope this resonated and that it gave you some clarity on what's going on with your subconscious. Yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your day, night, or evening. Take care. Bye.